Hello everybody, how you guys doing? My draw Crucial Blue, welcome in guys. Happy Tuesday. Let's uh let's get this party started here. That's right. We can actually turn the camera on here. So we are continuing on. Working with cameras. Continuing on these flawless blades here. Getting a couple more base colors, and then we're gonna hit the highlights on these. So I have a coal black. We're gonna put in some select areas. Some magenta. I think there's a dude licking his sword, so we're gonna paint his tongue magenta. And then we're gonna do some touch-ups of our dark magenta. And then I'm gonna work on just a couple washes on some different things. And then we'll get into highlights. So things like skin and cloth will get some washes. And that'll be about it. How you guys doing? What's going on? Ghost Talks, welcome. You can use pre-order box as an allied attachment. Yeah. Zen, welcome in. Good morning. Yeah, I was reading the the Custodes article this morning. I was trying to compare it to the previous rules. Like, Custodes have been able to be allies, you know, like that works. I did figure out that the Custodes box set is about 1,200 points for Heresy. So you're not getting that full 3,000, but that is a solid chunk of points. I didn't even paint that piece silver. You just saw the Yark video, the Armageddon video. Welcome, Sir Strumming Fish. Yeah, it is perfect for an allied force. 1,200 points is like the perfect place to be. And they talk about the prime advantage you can give the shield captain. Makes it so you can field everything in that box as an allied detachment. Because you give them that prime advantage that gives them officer of the line 2, and you're good to go. That's all it takes. And you can get the tank, the dreadnought, and the two Custodes squads. Guard squads? I don't know what they're called. It's cool. The first Commissar dude was right, yeah. The planetary commander, or whatever he was. Sounds like cowardice to me, Zen. Yeah, I was a little sad they didn't show any Armageddon Steel Legion. But Twitch started pausing streams when making the tab inactive. Oh, weird. You know what, Blue? I think that was happening when I was watching your stream last night. Yep. Yeah. Well, Armageddon's going to be, it's the next campaign book that's coming out. And then, yeah, I think Armageddon is the what you call it, the 11th edition starter. Let's make this guy's leg here. Let's make that. We just want a little bit of black to accent this armor. He has an issue, it needs to be refreshed. That's crazy. What happened was, yeah, I think I accidentally minimized or something last night when I was chilling in Blue stream, and the stream stopped, and it was just for a second before I turned it back on, and I was like, did that really happen? And I wasn't curious enough to to investigate any further. But I just thought I was a little crazy. But then hearing that it's happening to other people is not every time. Oh, if there's audio in another tab. Huh. Stupid Twitch. Yeah, we'll need to touch up silver anyway, but we can do a little bit of black. We can do a little bit of black on this dude. We can do a shoulder pad. How about that? Paint a shoulder pad black. That'd be cool. Spilt paint pot, welcome in. Maybe a bandwidth issue on there, and yeah. Yeah, I feel like if they pause the stream, then they lose the ad revenue, right? Isn't it in their best interest just to leave it run? You know what though? I bet it would run the ads. It'd just pause it, and then when the ads start, it just runs the ads at full audio, and then goes back to a pause stream. This is dark magenta. That's what I have on this mini right now. Oh, I forgot the coins. Let's do shoulder pad. Okay, a couple of touch-up colors to do. We will get to those. Okay, just a little bit of an accent of black. We're going to highlight this up. That's why they're doing it. Ads pause until you watch them all in focus, yeah. No, they don't deserve the benefit of the doubt, right? Yeah. Gorgeous. Ah, thanks, man. Yeah, we're just getting to base colors, so there's a lot left to do, but I appreciate that. Yeah, he's got a cone head. Yeah, we got Dan Aykroyd here. The sharp teeth, the affinity for golf, you know. The whole deal. And then this guy, hold on, this one here, just licking his sword. It's going to consume mass quantities for the Chaos Gods. Yeah. Karen, welcome in. How are you doing? And Quishy, welcome. Welcome, guys. How's everybody's Tuesday going? We're just painting Emperor's Children, just a couple flawless blades today. Try to get these guys basically to the point of finish here. If I need to do some basing tonight or something, then that's all good. Why his... Alright. Cool. Let's get some of this dark silver. Let's put a little bit more of that on the palette. We'll start going through and getting these colors back up. We'll put you up. We'll get you... Vansar. How do you like... Hold on. Let me see. I did see him. Where are they, Quishy? What you talking about? Oh, the BattleTech, the mech, right? Yeah, yeah. So it's been a couple days. I can't remember things from a week ago. No, good stuff. Good stuff though. It's away from Sony TV ad thing where you have to stand up and yell McDonald. Oh no. I will permanently just stop watching TV or consuming media. If that's where we're going. I'll spend my life going to old yard sales to buy books and physical media. Let's play a game. Warhammer trivia? Okay. Just coming in here and testing us. Are we true fans? Horus is the Warhammer 40,000, if that's what you're wanting to know. I think we're about to be gatekept. Maybe. Yeah, yeah. Moved all DVDs, yeah. Yeah, Sir Starving Fish, you are not wrong about that. Let's trim here.
Look at me!
Ooh, another picture and finish? Sure, Quishy. I'll take a look in a minute. Take a look. Let's go look at Quishy's mini guy, guys and girls. What's up? What's up? Oh, I'm not being mean. I'm just curious, Karen. Yeah, like, are we about to be gate kept, or, you know, if it's just for fun, that's fine. I don't mind anyone asking me 40K questions. Not often someone comes into my stream and just starts quizzing everybody. So, quizzing. Alright, in just a second, we're gonna go check out finished. Take a look at Quishy's finished miniature real quick though, so I don't forget something really important while I'm thinking about it. So, real piece. Okay, we'll come back to that guy in a minute. How many Terminators can you fit in a Cestus? Is that the 40K transport, like the assault ram? I have no idea. It was the Dreadnought that almost killed Fulgrim. Oh, I know his name. It's the what's his name? Dang it, he has rules. I don't know, I don't play him for children. Oh, nice. Nice, Quishy. Very good work. Is that a Necromunda mini? What is that mini from? I wish you would have tried harder. Yeah. Yeah, it's Rylanor. That's right, yeah. Good old Rylanor. It is a Necromunda mini, yeah, and that's Van Sar, right? That's who that is. Yeah. Sir Starving Fish. Are you actually cultured American, Sir Starving Fish, this whole time? You were cosplaying as someone super friendly on YouTube when you come in and you're just mean to me on Twitch? Is that what's going on? Yeah, he had the virus bomb. Yeah. his 30k rules are funny. Like, he is guaranteed to lose any fight he gets in with Fulgrim almost 100% of the time, but he does have hatred Fulgrim, so he gets a bonus rule against you, even though it does not help him, because he will absolutely lose that fight every time. You're not that cool? Don't worry, Sir Stromingfish. Don't worry. Oh yeah, The Rock. Yeah, Dark Angel's flagship. The Rock. I have the bonus roll hatred of Fulgrim as well. I need to look into this character. Yeah, Rylanor is really cool. Yeah. Presumably killed on Istvan 3 with the Legion purges. And then almost 10,000 years later, had managed to rig a virus bomb to detonate and then summoned Fulgrim to himself. Trazen the Infinite's nemesis. I don't know that. I don't know enough about Trazen the Infinite. But I assume it'd be like Abaddon or something, but... Oh, Valkyrie, what's going on? Judge Dave, how you doing? Let me hear you wag. I'm not gonna wag. Maybe if 11th edition comes out and I grab the box set, maybe then I'll wag. Is it Orican? You said like Waluigi. Waluigi is my favorite character in Mario Party. And my whole family hates it. Because I will talk like Waluigi the whole time. I'll do those in gold. Little like piercing things. Okay. Pull the trigger on the Legion box. Oh, cool. Which one did you get? Was it the clone box, right? John Lockridge, welcome in. How you doing? Chilling on YouTube. Your videos where they sing a song as Waluigi. I saw that one, Mydrol. I saw that video pop up like in my recommendations or something. I never watched it, but I was laughing about it. I was in the middle of doing something else when I don't know. I remember telling the painting wife about it, and she rolled her eyes, and I was like, okay, and I just kind of moved on with my life and never watched it. I don't know what I could do is play pranks on each other. Yeah. Seems like the most fun way to spend eternity, though, right? Can't do anything else, you might as well have fun. Mr. Conehead here. Who was the first named Inquisitor? Wasn't that Obi-Wan Sherlock Clouseau or whatever? Isn't that the first Inquisitor? Is that the right name? An Eldar Combat Patrol. Oh, cool. Alright, you're jumping all over the place. You take 11th back to its roots when 40k was a man's man game? No, they're not going to do that with 40k. No. I don't think 40k was ever a man's game, to be honest. It was a nerdy man's game, and it still is. Maybe a little less of a nerdy man's game. You gotta go. All right, Karen. Thank you for the trivia. It was fun. Have a good one. Most awesome Krieg. Yeah, Jaded Valkyrie. All right. Legit. Never told us if we got the right answer. Never followed either. Just comes in here, gives me questions, and then leaves. Hit up by a couple guys at FLGS. They offer 2 boxes of Assault Terminis for $80 and the other $70 for both Incursor and Eradicator. Yeah, Mydro, that's sweet. Yeah, that's a good deal on minis. Yeah. Answer these questions 3 and I will follow thee. Apparently I failed. I failed, guys. I'm sorry. I did not earn anyone's follow today. Okay. Let's do a little bit of gold as a touch-up. Veritech, welcome in. What is your favorite color? Blue. I mean green. Yep. Is that Sir Robin that answers it that way? Yeah, no, yellow. Yeah. Sir Robin. Pick a few boxes of Assault Terminators. To my eyeballs in Deathwing at the moment with no new plastic until those are at least built in Prime. Dang. Didn't know Spilled Paint Pot was getting in on the Dark Angels buzz here. Well, I got a couple things, ordered a couple things this weekend. First thing I ordered was a new 3D printer. It's the capital of Assyria. It was what? I know this. Why can't I think of it? It was Nineveh, right? And was it Ashurbanipal? Ashurbanipal was one of the kings. Tuvon, how you doing? The broke dad. Yep, I get that. I get that, Tuvon. Yep. Sir Galahad mixed up his favorite color. Okay. EBD. The boring dad. What is it? What's the airspeed of an unladen swallow? Was it African or European? I don't know. I showed my son a clip of that movie, The Knights Who Say Ni, and I have never seen that kid more stone-faced in my life. He did not get it. He was not having any of it. This kid will laugh at anything. He has like the most sensitive sense of humor, and then he watches one of the funniest movies ever, and just absolute nothing. He turns into a robot. Kept asking why it's funny. Yeah, he's like, why do they need a shrubbery? And I was like, that's the joke. Uh, Not a movie I'm gonna show him in full yet. There's a couple um, inappropriate moments, but I will show him that full movie, and then he will show his friends, and he will be the funniest kid in his friend group. The credits joke at the very start. Oh, the Black Knight scene. Yeah, that's a good one to show. Yeah. Yep, Tim the Enchanter. My favorite part of the rabbit scene is Sir Robin. Just immediately admitting that, I sold Mom, I was so scared. So I've done it again. It's great. Happy St. Patrick's Day. There was one thing I wanted this St. Patrick's Day, and it was Irish cream for my coffee. Nobody had it. I was a little furious. I literally went to the grocery store yesterday, and it was nowhere to be found. And I believe that is a bit shameful. Okay, let's get our dark magenta. Better yet, like Bailey's. No, just coffee creamer. Yeah, I don't drink alcohol, so it'd just be the coffee creamer. I mean, to be fair, I didn't see Bailey's either, but I don't think I usually look in the right section for Bailey's, so. Cincinnati this weekend, quick getaway. Anything you know about Cincy? No, I don't. Raja might, if Raja's here. Hey, Lion Joker, what's going on? Like a clog in this? I don't think I've ever seen a clogged Pro bottle. That's crazy. Not Irish without the booze. No, definitely don't get Skyline. Look at this. Hold on. I had this bottle closed. Look at this. The whole thing is like a layer of gunk. Jeez. I have never seen that before with these bottles. Watery Tart 2026. Yeah. Pre-mudded paint. Yeah, no kidding. Oh my word. Okay. Okay, let's try this again. Little drop of wash here. Take ourselves a little brush and we'll thin down this wash just a little bit. Maybe even a little bit more. So yeah, I ordered a new printer. I have an Elegoo Mars 5 Ultra on the way. Because my printer, my current printer, my Mars Pro 3, has a couple clusters of dead pixels, which means I need to replace the screen. And in order to replace my LCD screen, it would cost about $150 for a replacement part. And I don't think I really want to do that. So, how long do you think I'll take to dial in? I have heard different things. I think it'll be pretty quick. 3D print companies like to advertise auto leveling. And so some people will take that auto leveling and they say, hey, look, I plugged it in and I started a print and I got a print working and I was good. It leveled itself. My understanding of the auto leveling, they made the print beds really weird, so I can't put like with the auto leveling, I can't put like a magnet on my print bed anymore or anything, so that's going to be a learning process. But essentially, they're banking on their factory producing things with such precision that you don't need to level. That's what they're saying. But that doesn't always happen. So with the leveling process, I may have to go in with, a screwdriver and loosen a couple bolts on the print bed to make sure that that everything is leveled. But I think by day 2 I'll be fine with my prints. Like I'll have workable prints coming out. Yeah. Yeah, and something I was talking about was how 3D print companies have made their products, like less modular and less user friendly and stuff, and like in the long run. And this is part of that. I know a lot of people really like their Mars 3s as kind of like the gold standard for a budget printer that has the features you want and has the modularity you want and everything. And yeah, the newer printers just took things away from that. And they add cool stuff like a 9K screen on my Mars 5 Ultra, but a 9K screen doesn't translate into higher quality prints over the 4K screen. It's the same screen size, double the pixels, but it's actually more than double the picture. I think like the 9K is like one direction is like the amount of pixels or something, but printing on resin, you can't get to a higher resolution than you really get to with a certain pixel density. And so they advertise like, yeah, these bigger, more expensive, or maybe not bigger, but like more detailed, more expensive screens, but those don't always translate into better prints as much as they like to advertise it does, because the way light shines in resin and our technology with resin, printable resin, doesn't allow that to work like they think. So yeah, just numbers. Yeah, it's all just marketing is what that is. If I had a really big print screen, then the 9K, the 12K, the 16K or whatever would start to make a difference, but I don't. So my little screen's a 9K. It's going to be a 9K when it comes in. I guess it already is a 9K, but I will own it. I do own it. I'll start using it soon. However you want to word this whole statement. I'm hoping the prints look better, but I'm not like expecting a big, night and day difference. And then again, the Mars branded printers are like they're, cheaper, smaller printers, so. What wash am I using? I am using a diluted Pro Acryl Flesh Wash. That's what I'm using.
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your home.
Hey, Miv FPS, welcome in. How are you doing? Yeah, just using some diluted Flesh Wash. I don't want anything too harsh on their skin as far as a wash goes. Just wanted to capture some shadows. Give me a point to highlight. Yeah, it's very similar to Reikland Flesh Shade. I think the Pro Acryl washes tend to have like higher pigment count, and they're a little thicker from the outset than the GW washes. But they're also kind of more workable. Yeah, Reikland is a great wash. Yep, it is. And I still have... I think I still have some Reikland Flesh Shade. Yeah, Reikland's definitely one of my staples. Okay, these dudes showing their abs. It's all good. Okay, next I am going. Yeah, I think this was the color here. Take a quick look at a picture and see. If I could find these pictures. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I believe that's correct. Okay. Trying to get a list of colors ready. Oh, cool. All right. Prime Painting or Emperor's Children. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I really like the pink line from Pro Acryl Monument. They do a really good job on their pinks. So. Another thing I purchased. A little bit of this color down. Is the new Custodes box. I did it. Thank you, Sarah Elizabeth. Yeah. If you guys, if you know, I don't know if I definitely don't paint these like better than a lot of people, but I like my choice of colors here. I'm gonna use some Plaguebearer Flesh, and we're gonna get this, and we're going to put it over all of these nice faded greens that we're using. What do I think of the one step? I'm interested. Um, I don't use a lot of contrast style paints for their kind of intended purpose much anymore. Like I'll use them as kind of just tints and everything, but um, some of the colors they have in that liner look fantastic, or like what I was looking for in that kind of line of paints. So they have some cool colors. The graphite green is probably the most interesting one to me, the one I'm looking forward to the most. Yep. So I got the Custodes box set. And I think I'm looking forward to painting them. It's kind of like a man, am I? Maybe. But one of my goals with those, I'm going to really take my time with them. Uh, but one of my goals is just to paint some incredible looking Custodes. So one thing I am doing over these next couple weeks is I'm going to be researching different techniques with painting gold. And a buddy of mine sent me a video guide on painting gold from, is it Juan Hidalgo? Is that the guy? And he has a gold painting tutorial that looks incredible and looks very time consuming but doable. So that's something I'm looking at. I'm not going to do non-metallic metal on them, no. But I do know the specific guide I found or I was sent from Juan Hidalgo has he uses non-metallic metal techniques to paint true metallic metals. So the way he highlights, and he explains how he highlights, is all he explains how it's using his non-metallic metal. I pre-ordered the new Custodes box. No, GW's not sending me anything early, guys. They don't know I exist, so don't expect any of that. Link to the video. I can send a link. Hold on a minute or two. Or if anyone can find it real quick, but it's like a 15-minute video. He's painting Dante. It's a very nice, like, faded gold look. That's kind of what I want. I don't like the reddish gold look, especially on Heresy minis that are supposed to have just like straight gold. It photographs well? Yeah, non-metallic metal, yeah. I've seen some good non-metallic metals in person, but yeah, it definitely is like you look at it at the right angle, right, and it looks incredible, and then otherwise it's fine. I truly believe the main purpose for non-metallic metal is just like a skill demonstration. Right, because they're always impressed with people that can paint non-metallic metal. Yeah, I have it. It's in like a text message that I have. Sure, I'm using this. So this is contrast paint I'm using as a wash here. Volumetric highlighting as well? Yeah. Let me see here. Let me see. That work? Yeah, that's the video. And even so, watching that video, I watched that video once, and I think seeing his process, I feel like there are ways to simplify it. Because, like, you know, I want a good, like, tedious, incredible looking army, but for me, if I can't find a way to make something more efficient, do I even bother, you know? But yeah, there are a couple things I think I have in that color scheme that he posted where I was like, I can change up this subtle thing and like cut off, you know, an entire step or half a step here and do these kinds of things. So we'll see. It will require time and patience and practice. Dog groomer arrived. Oh, dog's getting a spa day. Nice. Very nice. A spaghetti day. The dog enjoys lots of spaghetti. It's nice green. Spamageddon, yeah. A mobile groomer? Oh, that's cool. Nice. Another thing I'm not like a that makes that tutorial a challenge for me is I don't have easy access to scale 75 paint. It's not in like high availability in the US, and I have a dozen like independent retailers near me that sell hobby paint, and none of them sell scale 75. And he uses a lot of scale 75. Okay, there's a little wash on there. The Emperor's Children. It's my second army aside from orcs. Oh, nice. You're about to be eating really good gloomy otters for orcs. You're about to have a lot of stuff come out. Okay. We got our little washes there. Let's get our dark magenta and let's try to do a little bit of touch up here. A couple spots we'll need just a couple coats of touch up due to the very like thinly pigmented paint. Again, our highlights. Nothing too crazy, that's fine. Have we talked about Yark yet? I don't think we have talked about Yark, but yeah, Yark's coming back. Surprise, surprise. The thing everybody called is happening. it's literally zero surprise, but that was a cool trailer though. Like, good for them making a cool animation. I am a little sad that the animation didn't have actual Armageddon Steel Legion. You're like, oh great, Cadians and Krieg are fighting on Armageddon. That's what everybody enjoys Armageddon for. Is the Death Corps coming to save the day, right? But the ARC stuff is cool. His mini looks good. I'm glad they didn't change it too much from where it was. Because I liked his old mini.
Look at me!
I actually owned that mini way back when, and also painted one for someone for a commission a couple years ago. Whip, Sarah Elizabeth. All right. Hey, Troy, what's going on? Comes back to save Chaos from Gazcole. Yeah. Whips. Let's see. Oh, it's the Stompa. Did you guys catch the Stompa in that video, the trailer? It's good stuff. Oh, that's so much yellow. So much yellow. Now, question, Sarah Elizabeth. What was the first color you painted on this mini? Whether it was spray can, airbrush, or just by hand? What was it? Was it yellow or was it silver? Steel Legion. Yeah, Steel Legion need to come out for guard. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I am doubting it. Ganchu and Squigoth. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Was that a print or was that a mini you got, Gloomy Otter? Welcome in, by the way. I don't know if I actually truly told you welcome, but great to have you here. Going away because they look too much like Germans? Yeah, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, John Lockridge, is people say that about Krieg, though. Because your average person that can't tell the difference between those is already going to assume the worst from what's available. So. And I'm gonna tell you something. When you're in a conversation with someone that already believes that that the Krieg look like World War II Germans, trying to convince that person otherwise is never going to happen. No, these are World War I Germans. Okay, they're World War I German and French, with some British influence. Okay, buddy, yeah, sure. Oh yeah, you're just saying that. Yeah, that's never gonna happen. Present gift for Judo I found on eBay for cheap, great condition. Oh, sweet, Gloomy Honors, that's legit. With Averland Sunset. Next yellow step is Flash Kids. Wow, yeah, that's so much. Did you like hand brush on? You hand brushed on that yellow, didn't you? That wasn't like a rattle can or airbrush. That's my guess. I don't know. How much pain was that? Ask the average person to tell you 3 facts about World War I. Exactly. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Yeah. Oh, by hand. Oh, pure suffering. Pure suffering. Well, hey, the result I hope is worth it. It looks great. So, your pain and suffering was not in vain. And please tell me you are going to absolutely stomp Tuvon in your next game of 40k using that thing, because I want to hear all about it. Okay, and yet again, I forgot. And I need to... There's hope for Elysians. Oh, Elysians. Elysians are the perfect kill team, right? Like, they make such a good like Kill Team box. I guess I do think that if Kill Team ever goes into having vehicles, you know, like, oh, you got a squad in a vehicle or something, like that's just kind of one of the settings they do. Like they've done like indoor, and they've done, you know, jump infantry, and they've done, you know, all those kind of different things. I think Steel Legion are kind of a shoe-in for that. You know, armored fist squads and all. Be perfect. Three facts: mustard gas trench warfare and start after assassination of, yeah, Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Yes, those are technically three facts. What base pink is on the Flawless Blades? So this is it's kind of a bone base color with this dark magenta from Pro Acryl. What created that? This paint is strange. It's a single pigment paint. It's actually magenta pigment, but they already had a magenta name paint, so they had to call it dark magenta. But it's somewhat transparent, so great as a base coat for you know, like through an airbrush or multi-layer or something. Not quite as easy to touch up or add colors, but it will be nice when I'm doing highlights here in just a second, because it'll mix well with other paints. So I think that's what we'll do, and it'll keep them nice and thin. So what I will do, I'm going to get just some straight pink here, and we'll just get right into that. G103 flavors of Guard. Yeah, John Lockridge. It's the thing about Guard is it's so easy to make 15 regiments and just be done. You make a command squad, an infantry box, and a heavy weapons team, and you're good. Like there, you have all the models you need. And just make sure those kits are modular within each other. And then there's no complaints. Throw an extra, like, upper half, like torso with no legs in the command box, and you have tank commanders. And, like, you can have limitless numbers of Guard regiments. My big complaint with Guard in 10th edition is that they have specific rules for the specific infantry squads of the different regiments. So there's a Cadian squad, there's a Creed squad, and a Catechin squad. I really don't like that. I think that's what limits them, is them trying to make unique rules. Instead of just having infantry, oh look, my infantry are Cadians. Very cool, and then that's the end of it, you know? But they don't do that. Okay, we're gonna grab... a little bit of this pink into this magenta, some thin colors. Yeah, it's a pretty significant change. So let's... No, they shouldn't have axed the infantry squad. Yeah, that's an utter shame they did that. Yeah. Prime and base and GW and EC. I'm not familiar with the GW pinks. Honestly, I painted for the same person. I painted some Emperor's Children a few months ago, and I really enjoyed their color scheme being black with some accents of pink. I'm a big fan of that. And then obviously, you know, like the Flawless Blades are different, right? So they got more pink in their color scheme than the others, but yeah, I would just base coat in black at that point, or even silver. Fill in the armor trim. Just basic highlights. Trying to be careful. Yeah, I'm not as familiar with GW Pinks. I think I owned Emperor's Children Pink or something at one point, but that was years ago. That was in like 2021 when I think I kind of got rid of it, and I never used it that often. I had that paint from like 2012 or 2013. I used it as a highlight color for some Harlequins, and like that was the extent of it. Basically quit playing Guard after the Codex drop. Yeah. Veritech, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I completely understand. I can sympathize and empathize with your feelings, because I feel in a similar manner. Um, when they first announced, it was like the Krieg, it was a 9th edition, they showed off the Krieg kill team. Over the moon. I was so hyped, like, man, this is so cool, like, they're finally going to have Krieg in 40k, it'll be awesome. And like their 9th edition rules came out at the end of the edition, and like they were okay for the Guard, but didn't have any Krieg, right? And then the 10th edition rules came out, and I was like, like this just doesn't, it just didn't look like fun. It didn't look like the Guard that I understood or yeah, would see myself playing. Okay. Half of his body. Lore somewhere says a bunch of worlds have adopted Cadian style. Yeah, yeah. Of course. And I always thought, like, in general, the lore was the kind of Cadian armor makeup and las cannons were the standard across the Imperium. So, you know, they sold the infantry box, and if you had just Guard infantry, then you were, you know, typical kind of Guard regiment, regardless of how they were painted. So many boxes of plastic and recast resin. Yeah. Heavy Sentinels, tanks. Yeah. Yep. Well, Veritech, at least you can play them in Heresy, right? All that stuff is available in Heresy. And the Militia Codex is so cool. Yeah, well, I'll be painting Custodes for a bit. Joining me for an event soon? Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, the Shadow Sword is so good. That's probably what the best anti-tank, most powerful anti-tank piece in the game, right? especially for the points you pay. Okay. First coat of pink. We're gonna get that. All the other two here. Alright, works. Blood Angels, Death Company, Infiltrator. Yeah, yeah. Working on a lot, Troy. Nice. Over into Rogel. Rogel Dorns. Yeah, yeah. You get to hunt Titans. Yep, there you go. There you go. I do think the Fellblade is really good at hunting Titans, too. The Fellblade might be able to put out more damage than the Shadow Sword in a single turn. Fellblade's a lot more points, but it's also like more generalist. But it's just great at knocking out vehicles, and it has so many like damage 6 weapons. Yeah, Dark Mech will be coming to 30k eventually. They even said about as much in that article. The article said that some of those the heraldry they showed will be getting their own transfer sheet. That to me says Dark Mech are on the way. Marine has a cool mask. Yeah, he does have a cool mask, doesn't he? Yeah. Definitely my favorite helmet option out of the 3 here. How you doing, Butterscorch? Welcome in. Yeah, your ARC trailer was cool. The guard are cool, even if done a little bit dirty by G-dubs. Good to hear. I get 2 Razorbacks for my Grey Knights army. Knowing the entire model range may be refreshed. Yeah, no, I don't know. I would say, Ghost Hawks, if you are concerned about playing the models in game, and I guess specifically in tournaments and such, with using non-legends things in 40k, I wouldn't be buying too much, especially for Grey Knights at this point. Who knows what they are going to be doing. St. Patrick's Day, yeah. Oh, cool. That sounds like a fun time, Butterscorch. St. Patty's Day here too, and I am doing nothing. Make some traditional Irish spaghetti for dinner tonight. It's going to be great. That's the plan. and chill and try to finish these dudes tonight. Sonar plays Grey Knights, convinced to get them so he wasn't alone. Yeah. Yeah, I think something important to keep in mind with any edition change is things change, and it is very rare that there is a change that adds old models into a line. The change that typically happens is, this model's been around forever and hasn't got an update, and it's gone. That's the update that usually happens. And edition changes are probably the biggest way that happens. So you should all be prepared for your armies to take some kind of hit, as you are encouraged to buy new miniatures with the new edition. Model A is gone. Here's a new model. Looks exactly like Model A. Maybe, or maybe we'll just take it out. They did remove Harlequins and Deathwatch. Yeah, Deathwatch have their own thing. We'll see where they go, but put an open question of what would Guard Regiment look like if they were raised from your region. I'm going to do a recon detachment of a regiment from Florida. That'd be great. That'd be great, Valkyrie. Ohio already has a regiment in the Guard. They're called the Salvar Kim Dogs that just use a crazy amount of drugs. Boom, Ohio done. Are there rules for a Guard regiment that just uses a bunch of drugs? Pretty good one. Saturnine Dreadnought. Yeah. Oh, I hate the Dreadnought model. Absolutely. I've always hated that model. It's like top 5 worst models GW's ever made. Miniatures for alligators. Hey, Jaded Valkyrie, you can actually field alligators in the militia list in Horus Heresy. Yep, they have a unit called Beastmasters, and you choose the types of animals that they run around with, and there's actually crocodilians. Yeah, the militia rules. It's probably the coolest codex GW ever made. Yeah, the baby carrier thing is the was it the Grey Knight thing? Just awful looking.
Look at me!
Yeah, absolutely. one little layer of pink. Let's go further. So these are like WoW hunters. Yeah, yep. I never thought about that. It's a good way to put it, though. Oh, it's the orc. Yeah, it's looking great. Man, the red on the power claw stave look really good. Just like the faded silver and everything, the faded paint. Yeah, fantastic work so far. Great stuff. The skin, the blue claw. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, fantastic so far. Blue. Guys, go check out the mini that Blue painted in the whips. The orc. Make a mech suit for a guy in a mech suit hasn't gone well. Yeah, Centurions. Yeah, Centurions are also really ugly minis. Yeah, I agree with that. Let's step this up. Works automated. Something is broken system. It's blowing my phone up. I jumped in, logged in the treasure room, brought up the speed, started pulling my SMEs. Say, oh, it's not one of your environment. You can stand on. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I spilled paint pot. What did Eons of Battle do? Characters will introduce new characters, secret GW, and you'll never have extra cash again. Yeah. There we go. We're cooking a bit with this pink. Pitmaster went to retirement? That sounds legit. Hey, Phaedros, what's going on? We're chilling. Chilling and painting some flawless blades. Sure, we'll have some noticeable flaws by the time I'm done with them, but make the attempt anyway. See, widen their hips, took the groin armor, cut it apart, like be segmented, made the necks a bit taller. Exactly what he did, but they look sick. Oh, okay. Alright, that's cool. I remember when those Centurions came out, I never liked them. I think it's more like the idea of them. Like, you know, we have Terminator armor, but we can do better than Terminator armor, and here's the better thing. Like, why would anyone ever use Terminator armor? Use Centurions. Much. Stumbled and tapped my credit cards on nearby War Machine purveyor's tablet. Happen to have stuff I wanted. Pass by. Dang. Oh, okay. So jumping into War Machine, huh? Seems like there's a lot of good games out there at this point. Do you guys think StarCraft is going to be a game with like a super competitive rule set and community, or do you think it's more of like a beer and pretzels game, where it's like playing off the nostalgia, that millennial nostalgia, you know? Kit just jumps into my bag. Yeah. Seems to be competitively minded. Okay. Yeah, that's fair, Veritech. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Rules, how flexible are you? From I read, you choose a path of tech buildings to get access to units. Yeah, it has a little bit of like an RTS feel to it. For a true competitive game, or else you learn the lesson that Guild Ball learned. I think Star Wars X-Wing was a good example of how to do a competitive game well. I think the big problem with X-Wing was they kind of burned out the candle too fast. right? They were putting out new minis every month at one point, and that's not a game where you need to do that. Like, they were struggling to stock the things they had, so people couldn't buy the things they wanted, and then the very next month there was a new release that would, change the rules and change the meta and everything. And that, to me, I feel like you gotta kind of let the game settle a little bit before you keep changing things. Another thing I didn't like about X-Wing, but this was also a very true thing about like Star Wars Armada and Star Wars Legion, was that every like wave that released would add like a new big rule, at least one new big rule to the game system, but it was only for those units because the unit rules were locked to cards and everything. But the reason people enjoyed X-Wing so much is because of how like quick and simple that game was. It's so good to play, because like I literally learned how to play that game by watching like tournaments, which I don't know if I've ever seen a tabletop game that like elsewhere that I could have done that with. And yeah, just like every single wave that came out, and they ended up with like 15 or 16 waves before they went to like a second edition that kind of killed the game too. But by the time they were in those waves, it was just every wave adding rules, and then those rules are just specific to the new stuff coming out, but they were like super impactful and like really important and completely changed the game. So like you had to keep learning all these new things that would just change everything up. You buy once, you have your fleet. Never saw anyone play a larger game, Death Star 2 or dozens of capital ships. Yeah, so for Armada was a super competitively minded game too. It had a much slower release schedule though. Like sometimes Armada was only getting a wave, which was like 2 to 4 ships in a year. And at best, I think they got 2 waves in a year. But yeah, the way Armada played is it was like deep enough to where you would play kind of your standard point value, and that would take you a couple hours. So there weren't a lot of regular like let's put all of our ships on the table and do like Death Star 2 battle kind of thing. We did do that a few times for like campaigns and stuff that we would run as groups, and we do like a final epic battle. But even then, it was like every player brings 400 points, and then we smash a bunch of tables together and see how big of a battle we get. Because it takes a while. It was never like a mass fleet battle kind of game. It was you're playing with capital ships, but if skewing as hard as you can into like Imperial Star Destroyers, you're putting 3 of them on the board and basically nothing else. X-Wing was the IP sustained it because the collectors wanted everything. Yeah, Guild Ball was a mess. New model was OP and people wanted it, and trash, yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it was something like Guild Ball that has no like name recognition to it, right? Isn't Mantic re-releasing that? Have they teased that or something? Crap about variants, but variants is what keeps people coming back. Yeah. Star Wars did have a ground version of X-Wing. So, Now, there's also Star Wars Legion, which you could consider the ground version of X-Wing at this point. But the ground version of X-Wing was Star Wars Imperial Assault. And Imperial Assault was a board game. It was like a 4v1 board game where you'd go through. It's kind of like a dungeon crawler, but Star Wars. And then, yeah, you would go through these campaigns. You'd have like your teams, and you'd level up, and everybody would play a character. But Fantasy Flight made a competitive side of that game where you would pay points for your team, and you'd have Empire, Rebels, and then you would compete on these boards, and they were like set boards, like layouts, and there were like set objectives, and they tried to make the competitive play really serious. And what happened was that game was so poorly balanced that it fell off super quick. And there were also possibly some IP issues with Fantasy Flight not being allowed to make a board game, Star Wars board games or something, or I can't remember the exact wording of it, but Star Wars Battlegrounds is a great one. Yep, I still own that. So it wasn't a great game. So everybody was like, okay, so they have X-Wing, they have Armada, then they have the ground version of X-Wing that is Imperial Assault. So when are they going to do the ground version of Armada, which would be large pre-painted vehicles, and then, you know, units of infantry, like squads of infantry, like give me that. You know, that are unpainted, the infantry unpainted and stuff. Like, give me that kind of version. And instead they came out with Star Wars Legion, which is much more analogous to 40K in its like execution and style, with hints of rules from Legion, Armada, or from Armada, X-Wing, and Imperial Assault. It had kind of versions of rules in those. Great game. Legion is a really good game. Not what I was hoping for when it was rumored they were making a ground combat game, though. I was really gunning for, you know, like giant AT-AT with like small squads of infantry running around it and stuff, and kind of doing that style of game. Which is actually, there's a game called Battle for Hoth, I believe, and its rules are based off of is it Memoir 44? I think is the rule system. It's like a World War II board game system. That game is much more similar to Star Wars Armada on the ground. It's big vehicles, squads of infantry, trying to take points with like set objectives. And I'm hoping they make more of that. I've heard good things about that game. Yep, that's definitely a game I'll keep my eye on. You have it? Oh, cool. Is it fun? Seems like it's fun if you're enthusiastic about it. I don't think the Memoir 44 games, they don't typically like, they have expansions, but the way that game works is normally like you buy the board game and it's all self-contained in the board game, and like if they make another one, that is just its own board game, and there's no like combining them. Is that like an inaccurate statement? I've never played Memoir 44. But if this is if like the Star Wars, like the Battle for Hoth game ends up being a, you know, hey, we're going to make a Battle for Endor, and you can make your own table layouts and combine the forces in the two and play your own battles, and here we're going to start expanding, and they go into more of a tabletop war game attitude, I will be all over it. All over it. Rain tiles, yeah, each game is different. That's cool. Yeah, there's a bunch of missions in the box too, isn't there? Like a bunch of like various stages of the Battle for Hoth. green. My bad, green, my bad. Totally play Battle of Endor. Yeah, that'd be great. Yep. Give me Battle for Naboo. I want the Gungan army facing down the Trade Federation. I'd be all over that one. Okay, we got some pink on there. You see it's still transparent. There's like a little bit of... Oh, if you can see it. Guess it's harder to see on camera, but... Or that, yeah. $20 plus 2 mini campaigns on top of that. Oh, sweet. Alright, yeah, so there was a lot going on with that game. Good for them. I wish them success, and I will keep my eye on that, because yeah, Battle for Geonosis, like there's a ton of good ones, right? Like they can just keep going. And imagine if they end up doing a Battle for Endor, but the space battle, you know, and getting rules for that. Again, it's just Armada minis at that point. You're just capital ships and squadrons of vehicles, or squadrons of fighters and stuff. Gungans are heavily rumored to be coming soon. In Legion, Phaedrus? I would love Gungans in Legion. He has his own Gungan army. Yeah, he made, funny story. So I used to be a playtester for Star Wars Legion. And at the time, I was playtesting the Ewoks that were coming and absolutely loving it. Like, I loved playing as the Ewoks. I never bought an army, but I did love playing as the Ewoks. Well, I was playtesting him, and I remember Eons of Battle put out a video of making his own Ewok army. And I was like, huh, that's weird. Like, does he know something? Or is he just, like, totally just, I don't know, maybe following the rumors and, like, I'm going to make a video about this. Or if he's just, you know, pure, like, happenstance making a video, and then it's, you know, 6 months later, there's going to be Ewoks on the shelves for people to buy. But I thought that was great. I remember doing that. I was also, during that playtesting, one of the only people saying that the Ewoks were good. And everybody else said they weren't any good, and they're too, they're too squishy, and they don't do much damage, and blah 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 blah. They can't handle tanks. And then I think the very next Worlds, when they came out, the guy that won Worlds took a bunch of Ewoks. So yeah, Ewoks versus Gungans, that's so good. Yeah, battle report for that. Death Star fight, basically, I'm down. Yeah. Star Wars is great. Did you guys see the trailer for Maul, Shadow Lord, that's coming out? I think April 6th is when that show starts airing. It's the Clone Wars style animation, but about Maul that's like a criminal warlord, basically. Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far with that, so. I feel like the animated Star Wars is so consistent in its like quality and like attitude and everything. Like, yeah, they're generally geared a little more toward kids. I feel like Bad Batch was much more serious than the rest of them, but I'm not even like worried that I will enjoy the new show. Unlike, you know, like Mandalorian and Grogu's coming out, I'm like I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna go see it opening weekend because it's gonna be the first Star Wars movie my son has seen in theaters. But I'm not setting expectations for that one. Or like I just know that Maul is gonna be that same kind of consistent quality. Some good surprises, probably some filler episodes. But overall, cool Jedi Sith stuff. Very serious moments, all that kind of thing. Speculate which armies will be in the 12th edition starter set? No idea. Absolutely no idea. What new show is this? Hey Raja, what's up? Maul, Shadow Lord? Oh, 11th. Oh, 11th, 121st edition starter box. Man, Anthony, you are shooting for the moon here. It's Orcs and Marines. Orcs and Space Marines on Armageddon. That's the 11th edition. I will say that with confidence at this point. Yeah, Raja, you went to a Star Wars Armada tournament this weekend, didn't you? Did you go to that? How'd it go? Last place? Oh man. Oh no. Alright, did you have fun? Trailer, the bit with the two Jedi made me think Rebels when Ezra brought Maul as backup. Yeah. I'm waiting for a Disney show to show up as like, you know, post-Republic, post-Order 66, and like Plo Koon is alive. Just for Disney to confirm that no Jedi actually died during Order 66. First match handily. Second, I won. Third, I really flew my gladiator wrong. Wasn't able to get any real shot. Oh, that's too bad. Oof. And that gladiator's probably a lot of your damage output, right? No Jedi kids. Well, hardly any adults died either. Not a singular Jedi was actually killed, yeah. Live with one health? Oh, that's the worst. That stinks. Yeah, you miss out on so many points doing that, yeah. That's too bad. Feels good when you're the one with the one health ship left at the end of the game, right? But okay, is that all three with this color? I believe it is. I love Plo Koon. He's a stay dead. Yeah, he was the best of them. See, no Jedi died. Yeah, just no Jedi. All right. Check something real quick. I think we can go brighter. Yeah, that's the alternate history. You know, the Jedi were all scattered. No one died, but nobody knew that no one died. They all just assumed that everybody else was dead. When in reality, if they just like went and showed up on Coruscant, they would have just like stopped everything where it was. That's all they had to do. Yep. We know what happens. Everyone died. It was just the Wookiee lunch that wasn't sitting right? Yes! Alright, guys. We have figured out the Star Wars. Next week is Adepticon announcement, and it is coinciding with the usual time for our Patreon hangout. And my plan is to do Patreon hangout and watch the stream together. So that's what we're doing. So if you are a Patreon member and you want to watch a stream with us, you don't usually come to hangouts, that's a good time to start. Steak there, it's fine. What time is the stream? I think the stream is from 9 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern. I can double check, but I believe that's the time. And these might be minis that we finish up tomorrow. I have a goal to work on these this evening. I'll be chilling in my draw's stream while I'm painting. Narrate the stream. I'll join Patreon for that. Be able to watch the stream, but I can listen in. Ooh, okay. We'll see. We'll see. Be fun if you join us. I was that kid in school where I hated when people were talking next to me, like during class. But what we can do, we can just turn the audio on. You just want to listen to the audio of the announcement stream. Do that, no problem. Yeah, sweet. All right. We got that. Okay, so it's just... backpack. Hey, this is the new thing. Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. Make that happen. Just a lot of pink today. I think that's it on this guy, though. That layer. Okay. Rip model takes forever to build. Fortunately, it's my last one. Nice. All right. Dude, just in time for them to announce a new Hellbird model. You watch. I think this coming Sunday will be the Eye of Terror stuff. So Iron Warriors and what else? The new Knight, the AdMech. Yeah, that'll be this Sunday's announcement. I think they have to leave room for Armageddon campaign expansion proper, which will probably be this coming Monday. And then they'll announce 11th and probably put some more details on the Armageddon campaign. Yeah. I have a document, Tuvon, if you're not familiar. It's a document with everything GW has announced but has not been released yet. And I haven't updated it with Yark yet, so it's still that needs updated, but it's updated as of Sunday afternoon. And it's pretty easy to see that the Eye of Terror stuff will be next, especially since I've been doing this for about 6 months, just tracking this stuff. And yeah, it's pretty easy to see like what's going to be next. Campaigns look fun. Yeah, and the Eye of Terror one has apocalypse battles, right? I hope those are compatible with 11th edition. Because that'd be fun. Set up some APOC games. That's cool. Yeah. Some stuff going with the community. That'll be fun. Alright, Veritech, have a good one. Good to see you today. Thanks for chatting. Always a pleasure. see if one more final edge highlight after I'm done with this. This color on the three of them is appropriate. Okay, 2 down. The silver might take a little bit of time, but otherwise these colors are pretty quick. With this pink. Tomorrow the Painting Sun has a choir concert. Really excited. It's his last choir thing of the year. So I think he's a little sad to be done with it. But I'm really excited. He keeps telling me it's an early birthday present for me, since my birthday's at the end of the month. Early into music season. I mean, it's just their final concert. I guess they don't have the idea was just to take it into end of March, and they have spring break coming up and everything, so they'll only have a month and a half of school after spring break. This is also an elementary school choir, so it's not like it's a serious musical performing group. They just did 3 concerts. They did one concert in, was that November? Then they did a Christmas concert in December for just like during the school day for other students. And they're doing this concert, this spring concert. Surprised you don't go to the end of the school year. Yeah. And maybe it's something like 3rd grade is a big like focus on testing year, so maybe since they have tests coming up, it was a thing to not not interfere with that too much. I have no idea, but he was excited about this since day one, so it seems like he's loved it the whole time. So going into next year, hopefully we'll be able to find something musically for him to do. That's what he wants. Yeah, state testing. Woo. Love standardized testing. So cool. Anxiety into sheer boredom since forever. Yeah. Okay, chest piece and backpack. That done. Maybe we can. We'll work on a edge highlight on this armor. And if we happen to have time, we'll get into highlighting the skin real quick or something. Lollipops are fishing. Those became the most fascinating toy we ever had for 2 hours. Yeah, I bet. Yep. Yeah, to be a kid and not appreciate the value of a good nap, right? So you're just like awake the whole time. Yeah, I'm hoping he's not too nervous about the concert, and I'm sure his testing will be fine. But concerts should be fun. They're normally pretty short. What I do with my son, I do this with myself too. Like, just when I get into situations I'm not sure and everything, not sure about and everything, and I'm nervous. But I do this with my son. He thinks it's the greatest thing ever. But we talk about, like, what's the worst case scenario of what can happen in, this particular situation. And so we think about like what's the craziest thing that could happen. That's like the worst thing. You're nervous, something bad's gonna happen. What's the worst thing that can happen? And it's like, the absolute worst case scenario. At a concert, it's like he's standing up on the risers, and he trips and falls down and like pulls a plug on a cord, so all the music stops and everyone can see him, and he flips over and like his pants fall down and everyone can see his underwear. I'm like, that's the worst that can happen, right? And he laughs it off, but it's a good way to like put in perspective of like what's going on, and like realistically that's not going to happen. So be funny if that happened to him. I would take him out for ice cream afterwards or something. like I am so sorry this happened. But we do that a lot with different things that he's nervous about. We talk about our what's worst case scenario, what does that look like? Okay, we got some very cool pink armor. Yeah, if it works, it works. Exactly. Yep. See if we can't just take this pure pink here. Just go around some of these edges. Dying from embarrassment certainly feels like the worst thing at that age. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You'd never take it and like make it something serious, right? But Alright. When do you call a mini done? Keep new things. Keep trying new things and finding the urge to go back and apply. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's all on you. I have trouble going back and correcting minis after I like call them done. So like if you really want to, you know, I don't think that's a terrible idea. I call it done when basically all my mistakes are corrected and accounted for. That's when I call a mini done. Alright, I think that's it for the pink on this mini. So the pink is looking really good. So got everything on there. You need the wisdom. Yeah, they did get quiet. Yeah, seriously, it's typically like I have an idea of how the mini should look at the end. When it fits that picture, and then I, go through and make sure the mistakes are all accounted for, and I'm normally happy with it. If I really do what I want to do on these Custodes, you guys will probably see insanity with finishing minis. That current gold recipe I have is very time intensive. Fix Azrael's too shiny issue. One joint per time for mini per cost isn't a bad thing. Yeah. My typical mindset with painting minis, like my own minis, is I want to get these on the table, so let's get them done. So we'll see how I do with an army of like, let's paint these specifically to look as good as possible. And is that going to drive me insane or kill my motivation? I don't know. I'm also not like dying to put these minis on the table. I just like the minis, so maybe that helps with wanting to paint them. Yeah. Fix Azrael's too shiny, borrowing one of my drawers technique. Oh, nice. Yeah, there we go. All right. What was the technique? My shader things came with the kit. Works similar to the stuff he was using. Blackline Blibble Knights. Oh, cool. Okay. Okay. Nice. Scissors. There's a darker feel, I think, because it didn't have the cloak. Fairly bright red. Marine body, same issue. Okay, okay. Well, hey, I'm glad you're figuring it out. I was just figuring out the cloak and cape is too much or not. Okay. How many dudes you put in the cloak and cape on? Or maybe it's a thing you just put it on fewer Marines. That might help you kind of use it, but not have to, you know, be kind of over the top with it. That. Capes were there because I couldn't find cloaks originally. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Games Workshop used to have a set for Marines. It was a Dark Angel set called Dark Angels Veterans. And what it was a box set of 5 or 10. I can't remember exactly. It may have been 10, then they knocked it down to 5. But it was a couple sprues of Marines that were like robed. Like robes and hoods were the Marines. Yeah. So, and then in that set also came with like feathers and like armor decoration and also like Terminator pieces and stuff for your Deathwing and all of that. And my homebrew Space Marine chapter at the time used Dark Angel's iconography, and so I remember I had 1 or 2 of those boxes, and man, you were able to like stretch that box so far, because like, you know, I'd do like unit sergeants and, you know, maybe a command squad or something with those minis, but you didn't have to use all the parts, just a few of the parts. And yeah, it was awesome. Incredible box set. Like, even at the time it was like, this is the best upgrade box. I think Black Templars had one and it wasn't really good. Yeah, discontinued. It's too bad. Well, guys, we did the pink on these and, you know, did the washes and stuff. I'm going to work on these some tonight. We might finish them up tomorrow and then kind of start the next job tomorrow. I think that might be kind of the idea. But these will definitely be finished tomorrow, just with the amount of effort we put in them. So it'll be great. We'll kind of bring them more to life. Get all these nice little colors standing out, these nice highlights. And I will get some pictures for you guys before they get sent out and everything. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, that set, it had 5 Marines in it, right? 5 or 10 Marines or whatever, and then it had all the extra bits. Perfect. Absolutely perfect set. Yeah. Well, thanks for chatting with me, Jaded Valkyrie. And guys, you all have a wonderful afternoon, and I will be back on tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. That's the plan. And like I said, we might be doing finishing touches on these minis, and then I'll be working. I have some resin minis to assemble to start painting, or maybe I'll start painting something else. We'll find something we're gonna do. But this is it. Yeah. All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful evening, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.